I have tried to do this video several times, ran into all kind of technical difficulties. I was going to do this entire video yesterday, ran into some technical difficulties then. So I'm going to try this now again because I really want to get back to this book, and I am uh going back to my deep dive into Alphacore #1. And I'm going to mention something that one of my subscribers brought out or pointed out that I missed because I am a moron, but I have some of the best subscribers on YouTube. If you're not subscribed, if you're not in the comments, I'm telling you, you're missing out. We have some good conversations. We disagree. I try my best to keep it cordial. I can't promise other people will, but I think even in the disagreements in my comments, it has been fairly nice. So I appreciate it. Anyway, getting to the book. So I'm an idiot. I thought he was speaking some other language right here, not really paying attention, just glossing over it. And it's funny because the first time I read through this, I believe I pretty much understood what was going on. I don't know what happened in my brain. Anyway, Galvin wasn't speaking some other language. He was just merely saying he bit his tongue and he was talking with his tongue bitten. So now we pick back up here, and hopefully this video comes out good today because I don't want to try to do this yet again. That was brutal. Okay, so we enter with a detective talking to Cecil Moreno, who is at Texas Trust, trying to blow the place up, of course, for Michael Copper, and now he's being interrogated. You have priors for possession, B&E, DUI, and aggravated assault. So tell me, Cecil, where's a mope like you learn to make bombs? She's like, you don't have the mental capacity or fortitude for this right here. So how'd you get involved in this? Please let me know. Inquiring minds really do want to know. The internet. What site? Don't remember. We'll check your browser history. And you know what I'll find? Porn and takeout orders. That is absolutely hilarious. I like that comedic edge. You saying I'm too dumb to make my own bomb? Look, why don't we cut the bull? Callie, his lawyer's here. My lawyer? Cecil Moreno, I'm Ridley Venison, and I'm here to represent you. This is where he should know something is up. What do you see your how do you see your role here, Brian? You mean Alphacore's role, sir? I see us as a force multiplier. That's where you're wrong. You aren't even first responders. You talk about a dig. Brian prides himself in his work. He likes what he does. Brian is the type of person that wants to make a difference, and he is very principled. And you see that in The Great War of Separation, that first book. To put it bluntly, your squad is a last resort. When law enforcement runs into an except problem they can't handle, and that's where y'all come in. Yeah, the freak calls. Look, the media's all over this Texas Trust thing this morning. I'll need you to cool it. Cool it how, Chief? Brian doesn't get social cues. He's like a socially awkward person that can't understand. Look, there's certain things that you just need to understand, and it's implied in the comment. He cannot get that at all. They need him to chill out, like lay low. They don't need the media all over their back. They don't need the unwanted attention. And the police chief is kind of going to explain. Now, mind you, I definitely think there is other forces at play with the police chief. I don't think he's above board. Maybe he is, but I'm telling you, there's somebody on the police force that is definitely not above board. Not everything is right. As you can see, I'm wearing my Yaira shirt. Yesterday, Yaira #3 launch. Excited for that one. Only fly when it's absolutely necessary. There's no need for y'all to be on patrol all the time. Until the media circus dies down, keep a low profile. So Braxwell and me flying Overlook and stopping problems before they escalate is a bad thing. Reassuring the populace that they had air cover. Dang it, Solari. Of course, he says something else. You're not in the army. You're not in the army now. This is about policing, not war. Yes, sir. Your squad is a value to the city, to the force. But sometimes being a cop, being a cop takes diplomacy. Yes, sir. God forbid the mayor calls for an oversight study. So he's like, yo, we don't even really have the funds. This was, I gather he's saying, to be doing what we're doing. So I'm going to need you to chill out and understand that if the mayor decides to do an oversight study, they might shut this whole thing down and then you guys will have no jurisdiction. This is an interesting dynamic to have um, heroes working within the confines of the law. Now, I know this has happened in other comics. It's not the first comic to do it, but the way it's done here is interesting. And you can tell that Brian Solari is struggling with straddling the line of doing what's right and wanting to do things that are necessary. That's the battle that he's having in his head. If that's all, Chief, do I have permission to fly, sir? Yeah, get out of here. Thanks for getting those bulls off my back. That's what I'm here for. To make sure you get your day in court. Sign here and here, authorizing me to speak for you. Now, whatever is said between us stays between us. Yeah? So what have you told them? Nothing. I gave up nothing. Only they told me that the bomb wasn't for real. So he didn't. You gave up something. Cecil is not the brightest person. He is not the sharpest knife in the drawer. And we can see that right here. He should understand the implications behind what he just said, but he can't think that far out. His brain doesn't work that far out. Keep your mouth shut. Don't say anything. I'll see you at the arraignment. Right now, I have another client. Galvin, your lawyer's here. The ambiance is rich, but the fare is merely passable. I've never had tapas before, Michael. And I don't know if it's the Ritas or the light off the river, but you have a wicked gleam in your eyes. Psychic, Melanie. You didn't tell me you were an except. You take off. You were supposed to be taking care of something. Personally, I'm not getting my hands dirty. Classic boss stuff. Of course he's not getting his hands dirty, but that's not necessarily what Lillian Renashi is saying. From her standpoint, she's like, yo, you screwed this up. You should be running point. You should be keeping eyes and tabs on what's going on. She, again, is the adult in the room. Michael Copper is a blunt object. She's a scalpel. I delegated it to a third party. Yo, Chief, what is it, Galvin? I need a light. Be a pal. I guess this isn't electronic, right? Thanks. He should have known. Galvin is detestable. He should have known. And it appears that the lawyer may have either given him something or somehow disabled his grounding. Thanks a lot, pig. So he's trying to figure out what's going on and he's reaching for his gun. Don't need your gun, stupid. All I need is some juice. So he grabs the battery from his radio. That's what he's getting. Let him go. No, Fender, don't. She's getting ready to hit Galvin, who is electrically charged with a taser. She clearly is in over her head and she doesn't really know what's going on. And in comic books, especially in situations like this, I love it when you have that one person where it's just like, yo, were you not paying attention when they brought Galvin in? Do you not understand that what you're doing is exactly what he wants you to do? Yes, hurts so good. Have some feedback, sister. Your name's Cecil, right? Our lawyer sent me to collect his fee. burnt this dude to a crisp. I have a lot of questions. I have one. Why? He shocked the cops unconscious. Clean getaway. So why fry this guy, Mike? Bad blood? For the sheer heck of it? Galvin's a real head case. Maybe it was a grudge or a contract. Ding, 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 ding. Moreno was in way over his head with someone. All it takes is connecting the dots. We got your straight line right here. Visitors sign in. Guess who met Galvin and Moreno today? The lawyer, name's Vanison. That's Alphacore's interest. What's Alphacore's interest here? You have a homicide by accept. That falls under our jurisdiction. And what looks like a conspiracy that will lead to more accepts. I guess we could use the muscle. Muscle, we're fully capable of investigating this ourselves. We'll see what downtown has to say about that. Ladies, Ingrid is ready to do some detective work. And Ingrid, from what you learn reading, is she's actually a fairly good detective. She's on the job. Like, she is very present, paying attention to what's going on. She's about that life. This is what she does. She wants to be seen as a cop, not as a freak. Weren't you waived off this bank bomber case? Not officially. This lawyer is trying to hang me in the media is all. What's Vanison's grudge against you? Could be a political thing, or he's on someone's payroll to sideline Alphacore. There you go. With my addition, the program changed. We haven't made all the friends we need to at the barn or City Hall. Wouldn't take much to get us defunded. Ma'am, I have the list of KAs on Galvin James. Yeah, forget about him. We'll work that list. Are you going to need backup on that? I think we can handle it, officer. Wilkins, ma'am. Ma'am? Look, me and Davies will brace the lawyer. I think Texas Trust needs a second look. It all starts there. I'm on it. You track down Galvin, Valdez. Guess I need a taxi. You don't fly? Not one of my talents. And I'm not about to be Brian Solari's passenger. I think she wanted to say something else. Need a ride, ma'am? No need for the ma'am stuff. How old do you think I am, Wilkins? Michael! You're an idiot, Michael Copper. Dang. You made me whiff that one, Lillian. And I'm an idiot for thinking you had this handled. If you played chess instead of whacking a little ball, you'd know how badly you muffed this up. So, Michael Copper is not a thinker's thinker. I'm not saying he's dumb, but Lillian Renashi is definitely more of the brains of this operation than he is. That's the impression I get. You had one pawn take out another, both connected to this lawyer. That's 2 degrees of separation lost. We risk exposure. Game's not over. It is for you. Not just yet, Lil. I put in a call. To who? You don't know this guy. But I guarantee he'll get the job done. Michael Copper has a running list of people that he uses that are not the brightest tools. And this, I don't know if he does that because he doesn't want to be double-crossed. Maybe that's what it is. Or he's just not smart enough to know, yeah, these guys probably aren't your greatest bet to, make things happen. Get your lazy out of the bed. You were supposed to be at that bank when it opened. Judas Palomino, Grandma. I'm up. Excuse me? If I lack confidence in your methods, Michael. Excuse me if I lack confidence in your methods, Michael. Lil, call your man off. I'm taking over this fiasco with a greater degree of subtlety. May I help you? I'd like you to open box J49 for me. I'll need to see authorization for that, sir, and two forms of, I don't think you need all that, do you? Of course not, sir. This way, sir. Sure, sure. So this guy has some kind of powers of persuasion. That's a good power to have. And that's arguably one of the more dangerous powers to have in comic books. You could do a lot of damage with that. A lot of damage that you couldn't necessarily do yourself, but you could do as a result of, coercing someone else to do some things. And they wouldn't even know why they did it or that they did it, possibly. There. Will you need anything else? Just a little privacy. Sweet. All done. Will there be anything else, sir? Nope. I'll be going now. I was looking for the bank manager. That would be me. That's four. 18 to go. You know, Wilkins, I wanted to make detective. But is it always this boring? It's procedure. Yeah, it's a drag. And now I'm a passenger again. The department should assign you a car, seeing as you don't know how to fly and all. A real dope ride. You could call it the, of course he said something other than dope. I don't have a superhero name. I'm not a comic book character, bucko. This is so hilarious to me because it's almost like, what do they call it? Breaking the fourth wall. I mean, she didn't talk directly to the audience, but I mean, come on, let's get real. This is a nod to the audience. We're reading a comic book. You're saying I'm not a comic book character. You actually are. Sorry, I'm not a freak. I'm a cop. Treat me like one. Sorry. Known associate number 5. Which one is this? Samuel Lewis Montana. Him and Galvin James shared a cell at Stony River. And this is where you find out that Wilkins is actually an except with some exceptional powers. Florist Park Police, open up, please. I heard the television. It's off now. We have a warrant. Those are some serious locks, Wilkins. Allow me. Police. Someone's burning breakfast. I'm feeling that feeling. You're an except. Wilkins! He got shocked. Galvin jumps from behind the couch. Someone rat me out? Or are you here from Montana? Bad luck, piglets. He's not home. And now you see Billy Bob. I love the fact that they don't have, like super villain names. I have a feeling that as time goes on, these characters will develop and they will develop some kind of villain name of some sort. Howdy, folks. Now what? Call for an ambulance, police, and fire. My name's Billy Bob Quinn. I'm here to make a withdrawal. So start stacking that cash, y'all, because it's all got my name on it. So, of course, they're trying to make it look like this is some kind of random bank robbery, but come on. After everything that happened, you got to know that this is going to be traced right back to the original heist. Where are you going to hide? It's one bedroom, baby cakes. Think I'm trapped here with you? Other way around, Sparky. Punched him. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to an attorney. I bit my tongue again. Again, he bit his tongue. And so now you switch back to Brian fighting in the bank. And I like the way this is done because it felt cinematic. Like, and a lot of the Rippaverse books have done this. I don't know if it's intentional that all the writers have taken this approach, but it seems like many of them have taken the approach that if you're in one scene and there's something going on that's loosely related, you jump from one scene to the other scene. And once you pick up on that, you realize, oh, okay, I see what's going on. And it really does feel like you're watching a movie. What we got here You one of them super cops? You've got what it takes to arrest me? It won't even work. I won't even work up a sweat. Sweat? You're going to burn. Give it up, Bubba. That's a real Southern Texas thing to say. Now we switch back to the action going on with Galvin. There was some action in this book. I like the way this went. Leave her alone, James. Power it down. If you do not have an attorney, still reading him his Miranda rights, and he's trying to speak with his tongue bitten again. One will be provided. And then it switches back again to Brian. Stings, don't it, Captain Fabulous? You need to give up while you still have some hide left. I'm giving you one more chance to cooperate. Turnover law, man. You're done. Yo, I'm going to say this. Brian can take a lot. That dude can take a beating. I don't know if it's discipline or a combination of discipline and how powerful he is. Thanks for the assist, Wilkins, for all the good it did. You risk your life to distract him. Call in special services and tell them to bring a rubber bag. Now, which box did they say? This Billy Bob, he has no idea what's going on. 45, 47, 49. That's the one. Hey, get away from there. He's locked inside with all the money and a limited supply of oxygen. This is a man that was thinking. He was thinking on his feet. Hypoxia should be setting in. Hey, what the? This has never happened before. He's struggling to breathe. And he's down. We'd better get in there before there's brain damage. What little he has left. You've got a mean streak in you, sir. I like it. I owe you an apology, Wilkins. What for? I got on my high horse earlier. I thought you were treating me like a freak. Turns out you're a freak too. It's just a party trick, really. I can manipulate anything metallic. I was so hyped when he said that. Because I was like, oh man. Can you imagine a good guy starting out as a good guy with the powers of Magneto? My goodness. I win bar bets, opening pickle jars without touching them. I barely rate a 2 on the Schuster scale. It still makes you an accept. You move up the scale with some work. It's like a muscle. You think? So now they come in and they douse Billy Bob. I think I'll end here. So they're beginning to connect the dots, and they're beginning to figure out what's going on in this detective drama saga. And I like that. I like the fact that it's a superhero detective drama / saga. A lot going on. And with Lillian Renashi and Michael Copper behind the scenes, pulling strings and making things happen, that adds another layer of complication that really makes Alphacore's job really hard. And the things that happen in this book, what I thought of Brian Solari before reading this book, it drastically changed because he's not as wooden as I thought. Like, I thought he was a wooden, straight Boy Scout character. He is ish. He will push the line if he needs to. He's not going to do anything that is unethical, but he will definitely push the line if he is forced to. He has no problem doing that, which is not something I thought was going to be part of his character. Ingrid's personality, very strong, very accomplished, very capable, even though she's not seen that way, and that bothers her. You can tell. And then you got Braxwell, gentle giant, doesn't speak much, just gets the job done. Braxwell is a gangster. He just comes in, handles business, nothing said. I like the way this is shaping up. I like the way this is shaping up, and I cannot wait for Alpha Core number 2.